Hi, how are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Roberta Colasino, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in upstate New York, or maybe I should say from upstate New York, but now coming to you from sunny, not so sunny, Pompano Beach, Florida. So there was sunshine this morning. There really hasn't been a lot since I've been here, but that's okay because it's given me time to settle in and try to put things away and figure out a good layout, which I haven't yet, but I'm working on it. And yeah, so it's been okay, but there was beautiful sunlight coming from the window right next to me here, and now it's all gray again, and I'm noticing that the window needs some serious washing. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that. In my younger days, I would hang out the window on the third floor. I'd hang out the window and wash it that way, and I'm thinking I don't want to do that anymore. All right, so I promised that this would be a short video today, and it will be because I have a meeting to go to. So I'm going to put the camera down, and already I'm looking for my things and I'm not seeing them, so panic is already setting in. You know, seriously. Seriously, seriously. And I don't even have paper near me or anything anywhere near me. So hang on while I just look, because I'm sure I brought it all in here. So I do not have all my things in this room. Oh, good grief. I can't even tell you what going out of here would entail. It would mean literally climbing over furniture. I don't know how these things happen. I truly don't. Don't know how they happen. Oh, all right. Well, hang on just a second. I'm going to check a couple of things here. I wonder if I put my computer down on top of them. I've got my computer balanced in a very strange position. So I'm not sure if I want to touch it, but I will. Nope, there's nothing under there. I was so busy playing with my tripod that I just did not mess with anything else. So I'm looking now, I have some card kits over here, and I'm just wondering if any of them will work for what I'm doing today. If not, this video may be shorter than I thought, because I honestly don't think I can get out of here without knocking over the tripod or causing some kind of damage. I have no cardstock in here and no designer series paper in here. It just doesn't seem possible that I didn't bring it in with me. And yet, here we are. Okay, well, no clue. I'm just looking around on the table across from me, excuse me, and over here. And no, it's just not here. Well, this is embarrassing. For my first time back in a couple of weeks. Very embarrassing. Okay, so I'm not going to fuss over it because I honestly don't think I can get out of here. Not without making a holy mess. So I'm going to show you the card. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the card that I made, the finished card, and I'm going to tell you how I made it, and then I'll make a video and post it of me making it. So this is kind of a fun fold. I always hesitate to call things a fun fold because then I feel like it has to really be fun. And maybe it's not so fun. I'm going to put the camera down and I'll show it to you, and then we'll move on from there. Just keep looking under things, thinking it's got to be here. And I'll probably find it as soon as I sign off. But okay, so I'm going to put the camera down. And see what happens. If you're going to see the ceiling or if you're going to see the table. Yeah, it looks like the ceiling. So the ceiling here is in much better shape than my ceiling at home that you get to see sometimes. Okay, so there we go. So now it should be switching. It should, but it didn't. Oh, this is just a giant fiasco, isn't it? There we go. But I bet we're backwards or upside down or something, maybe? There's such a delay that I can't see the stamp set that I just put down on the table here. So that's what I'm checking. Okay, no, we're right. All right, well, that part's good then. Thank heavens for small mercies, right? I'm just going to get my thumb out of the way, first of all, and just adjust this a little bit. This is really just unbelievable to me. Okay, so, well, as long as I brought that down, I'll leave that there and show you. So this card that I'm showing you right here, hang on, I gotta move a couple of things and then make sure that I don't knock anything off the table. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of work to get this set up, and then I may have to move it to another room. I'm expecting some company that will be here from anywhere, 3 different guests coming. one who might be here for like a long weekend, and one who might be here for a week, and one might be here for, I'm not sure. So, and this is the spare bedroom, just to help you understand. So I really can't be doing this when this is somebody else's bedroom. So I'm thinking of moving it all into my bedroom, because last year I did this at the dining room table. And the problem with the dining room table is that, it's the dining room table. And so what I found was that even though I said I was going to clean everything up and move it away, I didn't, because that meant moving the tripod every time. And so I just basically sacrificed the dining room table for 3 months, and I decided I wasn't going to do that again. So anyway, I used the Hooray for Surprises stamp set, basically just for the sentiment and the cake. I think that was all I used. Hope your birthday is wonderful, and I used the cake and the candle and the flame, and that was it. And this is a great set. This is the one I demonstrated, I think, in my very last live, and it's the one that has the interactive parts to it, which really is cool. But if you're not into fidgeting and fussing around with that, don't get the dies and just get the stamp set, because it's really lovely. Okay, so here is the card, and I used the masterfully made designer series paper for this. Okay, and you know what, since I didn't glue it, but I did use glue dots. All right, so I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of designer series paper, and I cut it in half the long way so that I had a card base 11 by 4.25. Okay, and then I scored it at 1 inch, and then, as you usually do, at 5.5. So it was folded in half with a 1 inch tab, excuse me, with a 1 inch tab on one side. So what I did, I'm going to take this part out for now. What I did was I folded over that 1 inch tab towards me. I did not glue the sides. I left them open because I knew I was going to close them with a ribbon. Now, excuse me, if you're concerned about not about leaving this open, there's nothing that could fall out, but you could glue it, but I'll explain, you'll see in a minute why. You would want to put just the tiniest bead of glue as close to either edge as you could, and I just didn't think it was necessary. So I took a 4 by 4 piece of the designer series paper and glued it to the bottom half, because once you fold that down, you're not going to see it anyway, and left a border about 1/4 inch around. And then I folded over that flap, and I did glue it down. At first I thought the ribbon was going to run under it, and that didn't make sense, so I decided not to do that. I glued it down, and I put a piece of paper on there that is, what was it, not quite 1 inch. It was like 1 7/8 or something like that. Yeah, my ruler is someplace else too. So I believe it's 1 7/8. I started out with 1 3/4, and it was too small, so I think I moved up to 1 7/8. And that's also from the same paper pack. It's just a different color. In fact, it's actually from the same sheet of paper, just a different section. And then what I did, excuse me, was I got out a typical card base cut at 4 by 5.25, and then I did find that I had to trim the tiniest bit off of it. And I stamped it with the sentiment, hope your birthday is wonderful, and then I stamped it with the birthday cake. And I took the, I always forget what this punch is called, it's like the best punch ever or something like that. It's the little ticket punch that goes with the Alpha Best set that you use if you want to cut out your letters. So I used that to take another piece of that very same paper and to create a tab. And to do that, I punched out 2 of them, put glue on both sides, and stuck them on both sides together. So then what happened was, when I put it in here, because this is what we call a pocket card, this was sticking up over, and you really can't have that or else it wouldn't fit in the envelope. So I cut probably 1/4 inch or a tiny bit more off of the bottom. You want people to see the tab and understand that there's a tab there for them to grab, but you really can't leave it up, because this is the exact size that it has to be to fit in an envelope. So even though it could go in a little crooked or whatever, it doesn't seem to matter. Now, if I were gluing the sides down, I think I would make this at least 1/4 inch more narrow. And that's why I decided there was really no need to glue the sides down. So this gives us a pocket card. So instead of them having to open the card to read the greeting, they lift this out and they read it. Now, there also are ways that you can do things like take a glue dot and a gift card and put that on here. Some people will put it on the back, so when they slide it out, the gift card is on the back. You just want to make sure they know it's there. All right, and so that is the paper. So what I was going to do today, and I still will do it and see if I can post the video, is to make the same card one more time using a totally different designer series paper and a totally different theme, so not a birthday card. Because sometimes it's just too easy for someone to say, oh, I don't really like that paper. For some reason, this paper is paper that people either seem to love or hate. There doesn't seem to be a lot of in-between. So I wanted to make it with this paper because I'm one of the ones who loves the paper, but the idea was I was going to keep this up here and not let you see it yet. I was going to make the pretty, pretty card with lots of pretty, pretty paper, and then I was going to show you this one so that you could see you can make it in several different ways. You could have it be masculine, feminine, froofy, not froofy. Like I said, it's just sometimes so easy for someone to say, oh, I don't like that card, simply because they don't like the DSP, not because there's really anything wrong with the card. So understand that you can make this card using absolutely anything you want, including not using DSP and putting stamping on the front as well if you want to. So that was like the shortest video ever, huh? And it wouldn't have been much longer if I made the card, because the card was very simple to make. Now I'm like peeking over the edge to a pile of other things that I brought in from the dining room, but I still don't see the makings of the card there. So, yeah, I'm just going to give up. I'm just not going to worry about it. So I will try to post another video, and I was going to make one other card and talk to you a little bit about a one-sheet wonder that you can use with 12 by 12 papers. I'm sure many of you, if you've been crafting or making cards for a while, you're very familiar with the term one-sheet wonder. I think I've done a couple of them before, and I have found a few over the years that are really nice for 12 by 12s and let you get the most bang for your buck from the 12 by 12 pack of paper. All right, so thank you again for watching, and I will see you, well, I will come to you live again next Wednesday. I'm hoping that it will be at 7 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. Although lighting is a major issue here as well, so I honestly don't know. If you want to leave a comment, for those of you who watch more regularly, leave a comment and tell me what works better for you, 4 or 7, although 4 is a tough time because, to be very honest, I like to go down to the pool between 3 and 5 in the afternoon because I don't like to get tons of sun. But I suppose I could go between 2 and 3:45 or something and come back. That is if it ever gets warm enough to go in the pool. It's been chilly. It's chilly today. I don't think it got out of the 60s today, and the pool heater isn't working, so that's a real double whammy. All right, I'll see you next Wednesday. Take care, and thank you so much for watching.